Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to price parts using a default pricing method. If I look up a customer, I have a new customer here called test pricing. On the customer detail record for test pricing, there's a tab called pricing. And on this tab is where we automate the calculation of prices for this customer. So before I explain this, let me go ahead and open up a part as well. Go to items, AC 1105. On the item detail for this part, there is a tab called Financial where we set up the list price of an item. The list price is kind of like the retail price. It's the highest price you usually sell the item for. So the list price is $94.46. And we have no pricing set up here. So if I click plus and I say quote, and I select test pricing, come down here to the quantity field, say 1, AC 1105. There's our part. The list price is $94.46. We got that from right here, $94.46. The unit price, $94.46. There's no discount. The net price, everything is $94.46. And that's what will happen if you do not set up pricing for a customer record. It will always insert the list price for whichever item you're putting on the quote, the sales order, the invoice, the credit memo, and so forth. So what if you want to have the pricing be a little bit more automated to give them a little better price? What you can do is come to the default pricing method and select one of these four. Now the bottom one is list price. It's the same thing as not selecting anything at all. But you have these four different ways of pricing everything you sell to this customer. So if I select discount, in this case, I already had this before, so it's memorizing that. But if I were to type in 10% discount, then everything I sell, every part I put on a quote or an order or an invoice and so forth for the test pricing customer will get a 10% discount. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Let's see, I do need to make sure that I save it so that it will remember what I've done here. 1, AC 1105, $94 for the unit price, 10% discount. So the net price is $85.01. So that's how it got that. It just took the list price and it subtracted 10%. Let's say that I pick markup. Here it says always mark up the price above cost by the percentage entered below. Maybe I want the markup to be 30%. We'll go ahead and, whoops, I need to save that again. And we'll go ahead and put the same item on here again. $94.46, unit price $58.50. So how did it arrive at $58.50? Well, we said that it was going to be a markup of 30%. If we go to the item detail, the average cost for markup pricing is $42. Where did that come from? Well, that came from, if I click on stock, I can see that the last time I have 10 in stock right now. It came in on receipt 1490. There's no PO. I must have manually added this. If it was received on a PO, there'd be a PO number here. This shows how many I received, how many are still in stock, what the cost was. And this is something that you may or may not have the rights to view. If you don't, it'll be blank. Any additional cost that we paid to get it shipped here from overseas or somewhere, who was the vendor that this part came from, which bin is it stored in, which warehouse is it stored in, any notes. So there's where we got the cost for that part. Now, let's suppose that the cost of parts are going up or down. They're all over the board, and customers don't like to get a different price every time. What you can do to stabilize that, if you'd like, is you can come back over to the financial tab and you can set a fixed cost. So in this case, the fixed cost is already there. So that's actually what it used on this quotation, is it used that fixed cost and it marked it up 30%. I typed in 45 before. Now if I put that at 0, then it would use the $42. But this fixed cost, anything I type in here, that will be the cost that gets used every time until I change it again. So that's two ways that you can mark up your parts from your actual cost or some fixed cost that you define for the item. Let's come back over here. Multiplier. Always multiply the item list price by the percentage entered below. In this case, it's a percentage of the whole. So if I wanted to sell it for 75% of the list price, I would put 0.75. And that would make it 75% of the list price instead of 25% off. If I wanted the same exact calculation, I could put discount of 25%. The last one is item price level. Item price level says always use the item price level entered below. Well, what is an item price level? If you want to get more creative and have more than one price for an item based on the type of customer or the size of the customer or the volume they purchase, you can go ahead and come down here to the price level table and you can add an unlimited number of price levels. Call them whatever you want, ABC, wholesale, retail, gold, silver, platinum, whatever you want. So this will show any price levels that are already in the system on other parts. So I'm going to pick A, and I'll pick a price of, we'll just say $90. B price, which I think will be a little bit better price, we'll make that one $80. And C price, if I want, I can have it calculate it for me. If I put 94.46 and I have a discount off of 30% off, that will make it 66.12, and so forth. If I wanted these prices to only be applicable for a certain volume, then I could put quantities in here. 1 to 5, $66 for the C. I could put C here again, 6 to 20, whatever number I wanted. Then it would be selective on what the price would be based on how many that I'm selling them on the quote or the order, the invoice, and so forth. So this is what price level pricing, how it works. It goes to the item, and in this case, if I said price level was going to be B, then it would come over and define the B price on whichever item I'm selling and look for that price and insert that price. So that's the high level basics of how to use default pricing. It applies to all items that you sell for this customer. In the next video, we'll talk about how to override this pricing with custom pricing for some items, all items, one item, however you want to do it. That'll be covered in the next video. I do hope this has been informative, and I hope you have a great day.